Hey guys, Tony Porter. Here we are, continuing our extreme unboxing, if you will, breaking down the different teams from the top teams from the 1974 APBA baseball season. As you can see, I have all the parts that came with it, including Herb Washington's instructions, a whole page on how to deal with the guy who never had an at bat, never played the field, but still, was attempted to steal about 45 bases. Was successful a little bit more than half the time. Then you have this injury card to mix it up a little bit more. It tells you how long the players are injured for. So you roll, and if he's a J1, J2, J3, J4, and so on and so forth. So J1s miss very little, and so on. Then I have the additional player roster, and of course I have the original lineup roster. So this is definitely a blast from the past. And today we're looking at the Dodgers. Let's look at those Dodgers were in the World Series. Now again, WYS. Let me see. I've been through some of these teams several times, and I kind of moved them around a bit, but they're still pretty much in alphabetical order. So this was obviously, as you can see, it's in opposite of alphabetical order, with a couple of guys pulled out of here. Huff, and then these are the. There we go. All right, those are the extra players. They're in alphabetical order. Arbach, McMullen, Moda, and so on. So let's Lopes and Lacey. Should be Lacey, then Lopes. Let's see. Buckner. Let's see what we got here. Put these in order. Then I'll go through every card once I have them in a little bit of an order. There. Okay. So let's stick those guys in here. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, L, P, L, L. Where's my L before the M? Lacey and Lopes. And they're good here. We're all in alphabetical order again. Okay. So let's start. Bill Buckner, one of my favorite players of all time. He starts us off. Plays a good outfield, medium outfield, and a decent first base, but still at the bottom. And the fielding. He's got some speed. He's fast. He also steals some bases. Hits well. He's got 9s at 35 and 42. Not much power. That's not what you're looking for. He's a lefty hitter. Ron Cey, coming into his own slowly, plays the whole season and beyond. Probably close to 160. Medium third baseman with some power. A 1 and a 6. Not a whole lot of power, but some power. Doesn't hit a lot of extra base hits. Then you got Crawford, Willie Crawford. And Willie Crawford is still hitting. He's got an 8 at 51. He walks at 13, 36, 42. So he does have his walks, so not a bad on-base guy. He's got a 40, a 30, several 31s, 2 31s, and a 40, which would make him good for hit and run. You got D. Al Downing. And Al Downing, the pitcher, a D, basically the league average with a Y, doesn't have great control. Here's another power guy, Ferguson, who missed a bunch of the season with a J3. But he was productive when he played, especially in the power department. He has a home run at 66 and a 5 at 11, which is a home run with a runner on first and a runner on first and third, and then a 6 at 33. Got that 7 at 22, and he does have some walks. He has several walks. Walk at 64, walk at 35, 42. So he does get on base. But he is a slow runner and not a really particularly good catcher. Middle of the road catcher, I'd say. Garvey, a 4, is middle of the road first baseman. He's got some power at 66, played the whole season. But he hit. He hit for sure. He's got an 8 at 31 and 51. He's got the 6 and 6. He's got the 7, 7, 7. So he'll be driving in some runs, regardless of who the pitcher is. So he's going to be valuable for sure. Then you got Charlie Huff, a C pitcher, not great control. You got Vaughn Joshua, a below average outfielder, has some speed, has some stolen base potential. He's kind of a free swinger, doesn't have a lot of a good on base average. I can see real quick here. Tommy John is going to be impressive with a B pitcher with some control. So he will definitely help out your team. Then you got Lee Lacy. And Lacy, a second baseman, doesn't play second base or third base particularly well. Doesn't have any real power numbers, but does have some doubles potential. Steals some bases with 2 10s, and he hit somewhat. He's got an 8 at 51, and then he's got that 9 at 35. 31 there. Not a great hit and run guy. He's got 131, 2 31s. Davey Lopes, second baseman. Again, not a great fielding second baseman. A low end of the barrel, but he steals bases like nuts. He's got a 11 at 15, 11 at 25, 11 at 51, a 10 at 31. Holy smokes. No asterisk. Don't see that. And he walks at 13, walks at 36, walks at 61. So he's got the walks at 45. So he's a good on base guy, and he will steal a ton of bases. Mike Marshall, I believe this is the year where Mike Marshall pitches 106 games. Holy smokes. He's an A pitcher. You'll be using him basically 2 out of every 3 game series. And he'll be a Y and a Z, so he'll have some strikeout potential and some good control. Andy Messerschmidt has a good year with an X, so he will even be striking out some batters and also have his control. In the National League, pitchers are batting, so Messerschmidt has some hits on his card. He has 666. Excuse me. And here is Wimpy Pechorik. He's a 1 and a 2, 1 in the outfield, 2 at first base. Just a kind of pinch hitter. Well, his card is really unremarkable. He's got a 0, 0, 0, and then you got to roll for the second column. He's got a bunch of 2s over there, so he hit some triples. He's got a 7 at 22, a 9 at 51, so he'll get some hits. Doug Rao, probably another starter. He's a C starter, has some control issues, but he does strike out some batters. Not a great hitter. Bill Russell is shortstop. He's an average shortstop and a decent center fielder. He's got some stolen base potential with runners on base and hits a little bit with 2 9s at 31 51. Does he get on base? 14 at 13, 14 at 35, 14 at 45, and so he'll get on base a little bit. Hit and run potential, he's got 31 there, he's got 31 there, you have any 40s? 2 31s. Here's Don Sutton, another B pitcher. So I think their third one, YZ. So he'll have control. He'll give you a good game. The starting catcher looks like Yeager. Middle of the road defensively. He'll hold his own, and he's got a little hit. Got some hits on his card. He's got 7 at 22 and 44, and then a couple of 9s. He walks a little bit there. Does strike out as well. Has that 22. That's a kind of hit by pitch sometimes, and then got the 38, which is kind of some funky stuff. Like I think it's I can't remember. I think it's some stolen base once in a while or something. Oh, the toy cannon! Finally, we get to the toy cannon, who played a ton. Played center field, I believe, and he's a above average center fielder with some power. He's got 2 5s, so it's 1-5-5. He's got 2 5s, and those are home runs with runners on first, which happens a lot, right? You always get a guy on first, and he'll come up and he'll send one off over the fence. So he is valuable and should be batting, cleanup most likely. The toy cannon, known as the toy cannon. Here they call him the cannon, but he was known as the toy cannon because he was 160 pounds and 5'10". And those are the regulars, the 20 card set. And then you have the XBs, right? The extra batters, I guess. I don't know if it's extra batters because there's pitchers in here too. APBA can play several positions, not very good at any of them. But he will steal some bases and he will get some hits. He has a ton of hits on his card. Also will walk. He's got a bunch of walks on his card. Then you got Ken McMullen, who is a above average third baseman with some power, 1 and a 5. So he's valuable there. Then we got Manny Mota, who's a pinch hitter extraordinaire for the era. And he's got 6s, 6 at 66 and a couple of 7s, 4 7s. He'll get some hits. And then finally, James Brewer, another C reliever type, and he's a YZ. He's got some control. Oh, and then there's one guy I missed there. Zahn. He was at the end. After Wynn, right? Jeff Zahn, he will be a starting pitcher, a C with some control. And that's it for the Dodgers. Pretty interesting to see them with these back. Now, when I do play some games with this set, they will be, I will use sleeves. So this is probably the only time I'll ever touch them without the sleeves. And that is video 3 of the series, breaking down the 1974 APBA baseball season, the classic season. Pretty much mint. The envelopes, as you can see, are in really good shape. You know, this has some fading and so on. I don't know where it was sitting, maybe in the sun, in a plastic bag. I don't know exactly, but everything else looks like pretty good shape. Let's look at the lineup for the Dodgers. All right. Oh, man, it takes me back. It's going to be for the Dodgers. Lopes, Buckner, Wynn, Garvey, Crawford, the right fielder. Wynn does bat third and play center field. Say the third baseman. Ferguson and Yeager are just going to split time catcher, and then Russell batting 8th, and then the pitcher 9th. And on the bench, it's Lacey, Pachorik, and Joshua. So a couple, basically two outfielders and one infielder who can also play the outfielder. Then as starting pitchers, you have Messerschmidt, Sutton, Rao, John, and Downing. Zahn as well. So you have a 6-man starting rotation, and then you'll have Marshall and Huff in the bullpen. All right, so thanks for watching. Like and subscribe my channel, and look out for the rest of the teams, and they'll be in these short little videos. Take care.